Hello YouTubers and cheap asses and all those who happen to watch. I hope you're all doing quite well. This video series is going to be me covering games that are free to little to no cost. So games, again, that are free, very cheap, or very affordable. Or I'm going to try to find you games that are very affordable and recommend them to you. This is going to be a spin-off from Is It Worth Your Wii Points, Worth Your Universe, those kind of shows that I quite frankly never followed up through with. Because, quite frankly, again, Is It Worth Your Wii Points sort of fell and ran its course. Because the Wii got discontinued in a way. Oh well. So, today we're playing Path of Exile. Now this game's been out for quite some time now. It's free to download and just practically use. And it needs a decent computer to run. Now if you have a subpar computer, you might get away with it if you turn everything off, or the settings wise. So let's find out how this game has marinated, so to speak. Mega Butt Plug Master is my favorite character by far, but no, I'm kidding. Basically, I have not played this in ages, holy crap. So, alright, I was playing as this character right here is the Ranger, and I have yet to even complete this game. And that tells you something. Either I got distracted or something else. So that's, I mean, it isn't that the game's in fault with that, it's just I quite frankly lose track of playing these type of games. So, alright, we're gonna get some impressions off from this new content update. I mean, this content update itself has been out for a little while too, so at least this is before the launch of the new content coming out pretty soon. Now again, I'm not disclaiming myself to be an expert of this game or anything like that, so if you're expecting something like that, boy, you are in for a treat, because I'm not going to give you any relevant information about this game other than playing it and tell you if it's good or bad. Which by default, it actually is pretty darn good. Okay, so we're going to go to the waypoint here. Now, off the bat, you've already noticed one distinct feature. This game handles a lot like the original Diablo 2 game, within good reason. It also has a very robust leveling system, which I'll show you here right now. I'm going to go into menu, and we're going to go into passive skill tree. Now, this game is very diverse, and I'll show you here in a second. Yeah, as you can see right here, this is what I'm talking about. This right here is the passives. Every single possible scenario that for your certain character to use. Now this right here where I'm sitting at is actually where the Ranger's tree spans off from. Now I'm not using any specific build, I'm just playing the game just for sake of playing it and guessing my own little build. So I'm going to be very careful and pick out the correct things and all that. And if I fuck it up, oh well, I can easily just re-roll and learn from my lesson. The game is very dedicated towards leaguing its said characters or its meta builds or anything else like that. But again, as you can see, it's very community based. You have a lot of people selling things a lot of the time, asking questions. The community itself is actually pretty hilarious because they're very positive about the game. They aren't too much of jerks to each other. They're snarky, but that's it. As a community, they're very, I would say, a healthy one, where you're going to have assholes in almost any community, but they're not bad assholes, I guess it would be the term. Not quite as toxic as other games out there. Again, as I'm showing you here with the said passive board, it's a very similar, or very reminiscent, of games you might know, like Final Fantasy X or whatever else. Now, the controls are quite simple. It moves just like Diablo 2. I'm moving my cursor just by holding the left mouse button. And you can see right here it uses QWERT as the skill bar. So you can switch that to anything you particularly want if you feel comfortable with. I just happen to use that. I just leave it by default because it's easier to understand, at least for me. Now skills can be executed by the 3 mouse buttons that are for most default keyboard. I'm sorry, keyboard, but mouse in general. Now the console itself, or at least console support, is there's no controller support. That's generally all there is to that. So, I mean, if you can remap it if you want, but, I mean, it probably will be either comfortable or very aggravating to you. Personally, I think this game would be very awesome on consoles. People are saying, no, don't do that to our sacred game on PC. I mean, come on, don't you want the company to grow? I suppose so. Then, who cares? I mean, you're still going to have your very superior PC version, right? And the consoles will get a taste of how good the PC can be, right? Yes. What's the difference? I mean, is it going to affect your PC version other than the company getting more money in their pockets? There's been more money towards projects for the console and for the said PC. Again, this game itself had so much raw potential even from the beginning of its stages. I personally think that the controls themselves are very comfortable. They work out so well. Even when my computer had a 550 Ti, this game ran pretty darn good. I'm running this off a R7, which is a 200 card series. And it, as you can see, it runs beautifully. And it looks pretty darn good in windowed mode too. I usually like to play games in full screen mode. That's just how I am by preference. Because I have very bad eyesight anyway, so it's like, you know. Well, you can see the fonts are very old school and reminiscent of Diablo 2. I mean, everything is clear as day. You can see the inventory system, again, is very reminiscent of Diablo 2. It's pretty much a love letter to folks who loved that said series. And this is what Diablo 3 could have been like if it were to stay off the beaten path. The fuck is... Oh, I see what that is. It's a passive that gives it Ash cycle, and I accidentally just... Yes, I did. What the fuck? I literally did not even touch the top of my... This is not the game's fault. This is mostly my fault, but I somehow clicked the top of the window here, and it somehow dragged it down, and that just totally fucked me over. Basically, the game itself has an old school map system, as you can see right there. That's mostly why I like to play it full screen too, so I don't do shit like that. It just happens because I'm usually clicking above and drags it. First world problems right there. But the ambience, as well as the worlds, are all pretty large, randomly generated or procedurally generated, based off of the player. Oh, that ain't gonna end well. Now, meta-wise, a lot of people... What the hell do these things follow me? I still need to figure out... I mean, I understand they're like heat-seeking missiles or whatever, but Jesus. That's like an asshole talisman, more like it. Like, that is like trolling right there. But, let's see here. Quantity or quality. Go with that magic sockets there. Increased fire damage versus regeneration rate. That's a tough one. Let me tap my toes there, I think. Let's try... Oops. I want to see how the damage scales out with this talisman. The game itself, again, has a pretty decent depth, at least to the storyline itself. It isn't, you know, super crazy detailed, but it actually still has good enough quality where it has a good follow-up what it's trying to be. I think it actually shares a lot of similarity in story lore-wise to games such as Baldur's Gate. If you played Baldur's Gate, you know exactly what I'm talking about with this. It's practically a bunch of exiles, like, seeking revenge, blah, blah, blah. That kind of thing. But in Baldur's Gate, you're just simply, you know, stopping the bad guy. Good storyline of that one as well, really detailed. Skip Vest? Sure, why not? I'm trying to go for a lightning arrow build anyway. I've heard that's like the bee's knees of everything. Every single character in this game can use almost any kind of weapon they want. So you pretty much, customization is up to your fullest delight here. Certain characters are more excelled at certain things. Or the trees. So the trees are all, you know, their unique specimen. Small mana flask? Yes, please. And we'll put that up there for now. That's still pretty good. Get rid of that. We'll trade that to the vendor, which I'll show you here how the vendor works in this game. Impression-wise, again, when I first played this game, like early closed access kind of style, or early access, should I say, when it was getting developed, it was such a developer-driven game where they were very into the community. They still are, obviously. They talk to the community quite a bit, at least from what I've seen. They're pretty much, they love their game. They're very passionate about it. Obviously, this was a game of work and love. Over the years, they've basically developed it into something that's, you know, fine-tuned. They made it based off feedback, which is always a good thing in some cases, such as this. Because if it's an online game such as this, it needs some feedback. Other than your original inspiration or core idea, you know, don't ever change the core idea. Just focus on what community members want from that core idea. That's what I think a lot of games like this strive from. It doesn't try to be anything more than it's not, and it just, which is a lot. You know, it has so much going for it. Again, it helps the community member themselves, or the person who's building their character, just be what they want from their character. So if you want to be a witch with a bow, no problem. If you want to be a marauder, which is this big husky dude, you could basically be him with a staff or something. Again, it's entirely up to you. I mean, it doesn't mean you're going to have like 110% success with most builds that you might attempt, but it's still like a learning experience. These leagues that they have in this game, again, are very interesting too. Like, they see how fast you can get to like level whatever before everyone else does. It's fun. I mean, it isn't, you know, unfair. You just go and have fun. If you don't be at the top rank, you still have a blast doing it. That's what I think that's pretty cool about this. It takes what it has and keeps it, you know, easy. Puncture. I know puncture is a very good ability. Siege Ballista. I never heard that. Puncture, though, is like really good. So I'm taking that one. Siege Ballista, on the other hand, I was like kind of going, you know, it's taking the saliva off my fingertips there. But let's see. What aren't I using? Okay, let's switch it out for Burning Arrow, which was right there. We'll leave it there for now. Again, this game does not focus itself on a specific currency, other than the following items that you'll see right here. Stuff such as like transmutant shards, or mutation shards, excuse me. Items like that are the game's main currency. So whenever you're, going to trade for something, people usually look like for certain rare materials or resources because obviously it's very important to them. So they don't use like 1,000 whatever. They just simply go, hey, I need so much of this, or they make it a standard because endgame wise, a lot of people need like certain items to make their characters strong or good or what have you. By the way, how do you like my bad chroma key right here just now? I need to get better lighting for this my front desk here, but yeah, I'm having some fun with that. Oh, I forgot to sell that. Oh well. So you see right here, I'm pretty much just storing my materials. The game itself has as at least bases itself, should I say? I don't know how I say myself like 30 million goddamn times. Basically, it has a cash shop where it's not pay to win. It's just there to support the game and give you something that looks cool. That's really the emphasis on that said store, and it's great. It's really cool. I've been very positive about this game, and I have been. At the same time, it's really nothing too much that is bad about the game itself. I think I go back one stage here. Yep, need to go back one stage. I think it was like one area in here I need to go through and look at. Yeah, I usually went through puncture and lightning bolt more than anything else. I think it was right there up north here. Oh wait, no. I think it could have been up here. Wait, no, I entered through there, so it ain't there. It has to be up here then. The quest area need to be. Yep, the Fletched Pool. Wait, what? Let me look at this really quick. Okay, yep, it was up north here. The way they generate these areas sometimes it confuses the shit out of me. The ability puncture that I'm using is a single target, but holy sweet Jesus. That's what that spread shot is used for. I mean, this game is basically built, again, as I was saying before, for folks who like to unwind from a day, go very meta, which meta means, the general build for, like, games. And what the fuck? That person's angry. That's pretty funny. I'll go over here and talk about how positive the community is, and this dude's like coming out of nowhere. Damn, that guy is angry. That's just funny. Let's see. Enter, right click name, ignore, report, harassment. Oh, no, it wasn't harassment, spam. Yeah, get to show you guys that feature right there. It's still funny. Like, I'm still cracking up. So every once in a while you'll get shit like that, and you just simply go, oh. And you just kind of do that, just ignore them. But first, you make sure you add your little colorful, tasteless comment to them. It's still really hilarious. Let's see, 15 to 13, much better, and it's linked. I'll definitely take that. On the other foot, this one's also linked. It has several different... So I could probably upgrade this one too, just the same as the quality of that one. Because it does have 3... accessory colors I need. Those greens. There's also passive sockets for this too, which you use for your main sockets. Which that right there in itself is like a meal in itself. So oh, wasn't paying attention. Almost got killed. Probably am going to get killed. Who knows? The day is still young. These guys are here, necromancers, by the way. Turn up the, what is it? I need to actually socket the Quicksilver Flask to the last slot right there. I always keep on pressing 3 for some strange. My finger always presses 3 for mana. I don't know why. I don't remember how. Like, I think it must have been some other game a long time ago. My finger just now, like, sort of used to that mechanism. But again, this game is free off of Steam, and I believe their actual site, so if you're not really too keen on Steam, then you can just, you know, show them some love on their official website. Oh, I'm definitely showing this item some love. And we'll put that there for now, just sell it. And what's this all about? Ooh. Not a bad little item. Too bad it's a hatchet, because my character here doesn't use hatchets. But yeah, each ability is usually socketed. So every ability I'm using right now for this bow, as you've seen right here, is literally based off a gem that you pick up off the ground. Now, again, stuff is such as that. As you can read the stats, usually have like a requirement, or so if you have like enough dexterity, you can equip items like that early, or strength, or whatever else. I'm supposed to toggle it so I can actually see those early. But yeah, I've basically found a lot of fun based off games such as this. Just the fact you run around and try to find loot stuff better than the other. It's addicting. It's just a very addicting mechanic. It's sort of like a roulette because the RNG involved, which is a random number generator, is what RNG means. And basically, you just go about... I mean, it's just like games such as Dungeon Defenders and all that, and Diablo, the original, and the new Diablo 3, which is pretty damn good, might I add, because they fixed it so much now where it's really good. So, it basically turns itself into the most addicting thing you're probably ever going to play in your life. And if you want something similar to the old school Diablo you grew up with, or at least remember playing a lot of, which... might I add, if I play a lot of Diablo, I'm gonna you'll never see me ever again. That's why I had to stop playing that game. Like, I literally had to go cold turkey. So it's just like, you gotta be very careful. Ooh, flame totems. I like myself some totems. And let's equip it right there, why not? Because I like totems. One of my favorite things in this game. But yeah, next to the traps, like caltrops and shit like that, those are pretty fun to use too. Actually, wait a minute, what the fuck was I doing in this? Oh, that's right, the Necromancer, and that was the quest, okay. I was like trying to remember what the hell I was supposed to do in that place. Now, the question I have for everyone here who is watching this video, and I'd like to thank you, by the way, for standing by if you watched the whole thing, a question to you is, what did you think of the game initially? At least when you first either heard of it, or what you've seen, at least in the experience-wise from watching this video. Would it be something you would play, or something that you'd probably pass on? Because personally, I think these type of games are just a blast to play. I've always grew up with them. They're just sort of those things that they're time killers, so to speak. Where sure, at the end of the day, their substance is really broken down to luck of the draw, but usually it's kind of fun to mess with the luck sometimes. I've always found things like that really entertaining. It's sort of like how I like to play those little, you know, those little, those, the heck those called, those little handheld card games, those type of things. Those things are just addicting as hell. Like, I don't understand it. Those slot machine, tech toys, those things are just, I don't know what it is. I can sit there, you can hand me one, that's it, I'm done. Like, I just can't stop playing one of those. They're entertaining, I would say. I think when I first saw one was when my actual family members were using one. It was one of those poker ones. It was just so simple. It's like you press a couple buttons and you hope you won the luck of the draw, and that's kind of how it was. Oh, I just got rid of that. Hatchet. That. 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 Also, as an announcement, I'm going to basically be doing the following. I'm going to be doing a lot more live streams on Twitch and here on YouTube. And what these streams are going to be consistent of is actual... pardon me. A little dry throat there. Basically going to be more consistent to doing DanVanDam and Friends broadcasts, which I'm going to do them live. I'm going to try to do them live. So... yeah, I'll just put that in there for now. Same thing with the... oh, wait a minute. I was going to show you something before this video was over. The crafting, so to speak, and how that works. So, alright. As you can see right here, there's certain different slots in this weapon. As you see right there, there's like 3 slots for the corresponding skill gem. I just call it skill gems. Probably it's not exactly called that, but I don't really care. But basically... you can see right here, there's certain things such as like orbs of transmutation, which it upgrades a normal item into a magic item, which I'm going to go ahead and grab one of these, or grab these. Right click. So I'm going to unequip that, I forgot. Now it turned it into a Squire's Crude Bow of Impact. And stats. Now it turned one of the sockets into a blue, which I'm not really a big fan of the blue ones, so it's, again, not a huge ordeal, but upgrades a normal item into a rare item. You usually keep those. Increases the quality of a item. I'm sorry, that increases the quality of an armor, so I usually save those again until I get like a really good piece of gear or something like that. But just for the sake of science, we're going to upgrade these boots into that, which is actually pretty darn good. I'm pretty happy I did that now. Hew. But yeah, as you can see right there, it has certain requirements to upgrade these certain items. Certain items such as this, these shards, you need like a stack size of 20 to turn into an orb of alteration. And again, you just simply collect a shitload of these. Again, I'm going to show you this for the sake of science. I keep on forgetting to do that. And let's see. I think I have to like remove something out of this. Yep. And poop, nothing. But alright, put that back and put that back. But yeah, I mean, the game itself has so much to it. You can see here about, on a side note, that most of these items have like corrupted on them. They're from like an old expansion or an old free update that, you know, had like something to do with like evil demons and stuff, like basically entities, or what the hell they call them, demigods, so to speak. I nickname them. I'm not exactly sure on the distinct name on them, but you get the point. And basically you had to help this chick named Val, I think her name was, or something like that, and what you did with that was did all that good stuff. Alright, so I need to go and apparently something's up there and you still need to go and explore. But anyway, I'm going to continue playing this game because I'm quite happily addicted to it. And those doses, though. So as I said before, you enjoyed seeing what you've seen, be sure to download it. It is completely free on Steam. And again, highly fun. So do I recommend this game? Absolutely. I've said it since the beginning. I think it is really fun. Again, if folks are not really inclined to games that have you fully customize stuff, it probably won't be something you're interested in. Another feature is that, you know, if you're not in, basically if you don't want a game, or at least you want a game to hold your hand, then again this game is definitely not for you, because it doesn't necessarily hold your hand too much other than tell you where to go for objectives. It's not for too many of entry players. It is for folks who are kind of veterans to Diablo, or it's more catered to those folks who are catered to Diablo, you know, the meta of Diablo itself. It's its own unique system. It has a decent, if not really robust community that's, you know, more than happy to, you know, just basically there just to be there. Mostly respectable. Treat them with respect, they treat you with respect, kind of thing. I really never came across any problems with the community other than that thing you just saw there earlier, which you can just simply prod them and just ignore them. But yeah, take it easy. Thank you all for watching, and definitely download this game if you have the chance.